Rap for real talk show. Back up in this mother, you know how we do it. This show is dedicated to healing and inspiring and being the greatest version of yourself that you can be. The Rap for real talk show. It's 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 the Rap show.
I just want to welcome everybody to Radford Real Talk. So glad to be in the building with my special guest, Miss Chiquita Taylor of Taylor Made. And we're going to talk about that further. What's going on, Taylor?
Hey, nothing much. How you doing?
Doing great, girl. How about you?
I'm blessed.
I know that's right. This is so special, y'all. This is super special because this woman I knew she was special when I first met her. And many of you know or may not know that I run a program at a local jail. And Taylor actually went through my program and graduated from it. And I'll never forget, she stopped me. And it was just something about her that just stuck with me. And she pretty much like cried out and just asked for the help and just showed how tired she was, just talked about how tired she was. But her actions also showed it, because anybody could tell you anything. But Taylor's actions showed she was just over it. And that girl came into my group and just rocked it and has been rocking it ever since. So I got to give it up to you, boo. Kudos to you for that. And let's talk. Let's talk. First, I want to talk about how we met. And I call this series, or this session, Taylor Made, which is Taylor's brand, and she's a licensed cosmetologist, and we'll get into that. And I talk about the power of getting out of our own way. And Taylor, I kind of want you to just at first just talk about what landed you incarcerated in jail. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Okay. Well, that was my first time ever being incarcerated, but I was incarcerated because that was my third DUI. So, several different events happened to me prior that made my addiction my stepping stool when it came to trying to cultivate or cope with life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to the jail, I automatically knew this wasn't a place I was supposed to be, but this was a place I was supposed to be, if that makes any sense. So I reached out. I was in a pod. I started asking about the program block, and I started asking about RSAT. And of course, Miss Radford would walk by, but she like a celebrity in there. So everybody, she ain't stopping for just anybody. But more than anything, once I got to know her, she's observant, but she doesn't want you to know she's observant. So originally I got in contact with Miss Perry. She was the program block director or leader. And it was already tough to get in there, due to my situation. But I kind of came to her and was like, look, I'm here, and I realized that I'm here, but I'm not going to sit with the fact what I'm in here for. So if God then gave me this time, like you said, preserve or preservate, I'm going to take it to my advantage, because the world doesn't allow us to heal, grieve, grow, or deal with trauma.
That's right.
So that I was allowed to get another chance to really sit and think about my actions and the things that came from my actions. I was around people that I wanted to be around, like-minded wise. So got in the program block, made sure I got in contact with Miss Radford. And when I spoke to them sincerely, to let them know that it's deeper than this. It's deeper than my charge. It's bigger than, what I have on these papers. So we went from there.
I never forget the look you had on your face when I first met you. It was just like a disgust.
No.
It was like a disgust. I'll never forget that. And anybody could tell you anything.
Right.
And yeah, the person's action says it all. And Taylor, your face was screaming. So I knew it was something there that needed to be tapped into. And so the program is 12 weeks, and we were together for at least 6 hours a week, not including any one-on-one sessions for individual therapy sessions we've done. So I do want to ask you this. So you landed in there, okay? And what did you get incarcerated for? I think it was DUIs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that was your how many? What was the one
Third.
that was your third DUI? Okay, got it. So can you talk to me about your addiction? What substance or behaviors have you struggled with in the past? How are you doing now? And talk to me about what you've learned about addiction.
Okay, well, I guess I'll start from how how I came into my addiction rather. Alcohol is one of the most legal addicting things in the world, but it's accepted because it's government funded, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Our families, cultures, legacies, different things incorporate alcohol. You can go to a birthday party and drink. You can go to a funeral and drink.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a hard day at work and drink. You could have a good day and give bonus or something and drink. So in my family, alcohol was a part of our culture. We drank at family reunions. We played cards. We drank there. So that wasn't necessarily the issue for me. When life started hitting me in different ways and going through so many different trials and tribulations, I started using it to be a form of a blanket to make me feel good for that moment, temporary pleasure. So
Mm-hmm.
as I did more and more things started happening to me, my tolerance became higher.
Mm-hmm.
Where this isn't enough, that isn't enough, that isn't enough, or just accumulating a tolerance for something that was draining me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you inside that box and you done feel so deep in that box, you can't see what's outside, but the people can see what's in.
Mm.
So a lot of people were telling me like you look, or it's your anxiety, or you're different, or you're trying to hide it, or they know I had been drinking, or whatever the case may be. But in my mind, I'm thinking I look normal because I'm trying so hard to look normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the straw that kind of broke because back when I really went to like a deep depression was when my child's father was murdered.
Sorry to hear that. Right.
And when that happened, and this is not no husband or no close relative, so it was like go to the funeral and get back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a daughter with my best friend. I've known him since we were childhood, and he wasn't anybody really in the streets or anything like that. So this was out of nowhere. After that, it was just numbing the pain, or at least what I thought was numbing the pain.
Coping the cope.
And it can go back, and it can go back to the roots of dealing with trauma from growing up, like our seed and soil we talk about. So
Mm-hmm.
all of this was, this was combining and coming together one way or another, like a bolt ready to bust. And so God saw fit to give me another chance because my daughter's father's already gone. So he's seen enough in me to say, okay, now
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and sit down for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So you can start looking at yourself, because I couldn't look at myself with glassy eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I had to look at myself in the mirror to see through me and take some type of accountability. Because like the topic of this discussion is being in your own way. I done been at the best at everything I done and ruined the best I've ever done.
Mm.
I done been the hardest worker in the shipyard. I done lost a great career. I done been on top of the hair game. I done had to start all over. But what I had to realize was I put myself in that position.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started taking accountability instead of playing victim, like I tell people, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor.
That's right.
So once I started thinking a little bit more like that, I made myself accountable for my actions. And that puts a lot more responsibility on you as a person. Because if you thinking everybody else is the reason why you're there, you're going to work a little harder when you think it's you.
That's
the
right.
reason why you're there.
That's right.
So
That's good.
it just, being able to open my mind, clear my mind, hear that third person again. Addiction clouds judgment. It clouds discernment. Um, your intuition. That night I got that third DUI. The back of my head told me, you don't need to go nowhere, Chiquita. You good.
Mm-hmm.
But I allowed that to push back for my own personal pleasures, which was selfish.
That's good.
So, once I started realizing that I could take accountability for myself, I just became comfortable in talking about what I've been through because can't nobody tell you nothing that I'm not putting out there.
That's right.
So that was the biggest thing with addiction. And I feel sometimes as people, we all can have an addictive trait about ourselves where if we do enjoy something or we seem like it's pleasing the dopamine,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to overdo it. So I had to figure out how to deal with trials and tribulations without submitting to them
That's right.
or feeling like I needed something to cope with that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's good, Taylor. That's so deep. And you hit on something that we talked about not only in the program but also just in general, trauma. We all have it, and it could be anything from somebody sideswiping your car when you're driving to what you experienced with your baby's father. It affects us. And then the thing about it, Taylor, what it sounded like, and I love your transparency and your realness. And that's one of the things I knew about that you were ready because you called your own shit out. And so the thing about us, especially as women, and then especially women of color, we often just keep going and wearing all these hats and still taking care of everybody else. And we are just suffering. We'll beat our face, we put on the best clothes, we'll do all this stuff. And there's a lot of us walking around with high function depression.
right.
Because life is going to do what it does. We are not exempt from that. And it's hard, man. Life is hard. And that's why I tell folks, Taylor, you can't judge people because you never know what you would do if those shoes was on your feet. And so every person, you just never know who's really called to help you. You never know what story a person may have. And that's why even, working at the jail, I learned from y'all too. Life teaches through you as well, and God talks through you, but people got to be open enough to receive it. So I love that, Taylor, and I definitely respect that. I want to ask you this. What did jail teach you about yourself? Tell me about that.
Oh man. I went so deep to the point of I had to start like you said, the seed and soil. I had to start from the seeds. I had to start from jail has a form of if you receive it in that way, if you're being like we say objective or subjective,
Mm-hmm.
jail has a way of if you receive it, the structure and discipline one.
Mm-hmm.
Organizing your space organizes your mind. So when I had this limited amount of space and I had this firm structure, it made me organize my thoughts.
Steve.
So that's how I took it. I almost take jail just like the Army or the Navy, but they get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
All it's doing is building some type of discipline and structure for you.
That's good.
Because most people who have discipline and structure are goal oriented and got their mind on track.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in an addictive nature, you're spontaneous or you do things out of the whim or you don't have goals set for your day.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big thing for me. It got me back organized. It got me back disciplined. It got me to respect a structure of every day to at least feel like I'm accomplishing something, whether it was small or big, within or without.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, representing what real joy is.
Mm.
I didn't have anything. I couldn't go anywhere. I didn't have all the money in the world. We didn't even have hot water. But to be able to figure out that I can laugh still, due to my situation or find peace in some type of books I done read or going to your class, Miss Radford, and getting my soul fed with some type of knowledge and some understanding of me and the people around me. So that helped me a lot too, because while God had me in there to get something, he had me in there also to do something for someone else.
Right.
So, once I started holding myself candid and to a different level mentally, because we'll think we got it bad till we meet the next person who got it worse, where a lot of their stuff is just naturally inherited. Their moms was molested or this or that or whatever the case may be, where they're just belligerent. They don't necessarily know or haven't been shown. You only know what you were taught.
That's right.
So, I started giving it away to keep it. And speaking to a lot of young girls that I seen myself in, because I was middle aged going in there. I wasn't a young girl, so I had a maturity.
Right. You did.
I was 36 going in there. So I'm meeting girls 20, 18, 21. I'm meeting women older than me that are not as mature as me.
Yep.
So it's so many, levels to the people that you see in there. And a lot of the times people expect jail to just be killers and drug dealers. Predominantly, jail is addicted.
Yep.
Addicts.
And mental health. Yeah, and mental health. That's right.
They're using psych wards predominantly now. Jails are psych ward holding spots. And a lot of people who are addicted to drugs just had a mental disorder, but was never diagnosed for it.
That's right.
So their diagnosis was using that temporary fix. So, jail taught me a lot. I took my psychology class in jail, to really learn the cognitive mind. And every day, Mr. Radford would walk past me. Even when I wasn't in her class, I was on that tablet and I was doing my work.
Yep, always.
So it just, it enlightened me in so many different ways that now with me getting out here, I always did hair. I've done hair for 19 years. But with me getting in the world, it's like, and I've also worked at the shipyard. It's like I enjoy using my mind a little bit more than always my labor.
That's good.
And as I'm getting older, becoming more enlightened with the conversation of computers or financial literacy or the things that matter. So
that's right.
Jail helped me deal with that. Jail helped me connect back to my spiritual side. Jail allowed me to check myself as a mother. With that disgust that you've seen was around my daughter's birthday and Mother's Day. And I remember we had to take the Mother's Day pictures, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. And I had to send it to my mama, but in my spirit, I didn't want to. Like, how can I stand in front of or send a picture to my mama, to my daughter, and I'm not being the mother I'm supposed to be? So the hardest punch you can take is when you got to hit yourself.
That's the truth.
So that taught me that about parenting and learning how to balance the way my mom parented and the way that I want to parent, and figure out the balance between that wisdom.
That's good.
And that knowledge. But we was brought up in a day and age where you suppressed.
Yes.
You didn't get to talk about mental health. You didn't get to talk about the molestations in the family. You didn't get to talk about, this is how I feel.
Yep.
Without it seeming like you're disagreeing.
And talking back and being disrespectful.
Right.
That's right. Yep.
Right. So, it allowed me to know how to communicate. And communicate effectively, where even with my mom, we couldn't always communicate to the best. But now that I feel I communicate so much more effectively, it's like we come down to each other on the same page. Nobody's pointing fingers anymore.
That's good. That's outstanding.
I'm pointing at me. I'm not pointing at you. So
that's how one of the ways where you can begin to see that a person is ready is there's no more excuses. There's no more pointing fingers. The finger gets pointed at you because that's all we can control. We can't control people. We can't control that. At the time, you couldn't control whether you would be released or not. So, and that's why I realized, Taylor, a lot of people, and I think it was somebody, I don't remember what group it was, but I hear people all the time saying that I wasn't arrested, I was rescued, because life is so fast, and out here we just go, 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 and do, and we just don't stop to even just be mindful and present about where we are, what we've overcome, and hell, how do we even feel?
Right.
And that's why we're classic, especially as women, to be like, oh, I'm fine, everything's okay. And sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. And some of that stuff is childhood based, because unintentionally some of how we grew up was, and our parents, this stuff gets passed down. So a lot of times we didn't have that voice, just like you were saying. And we were taught unintentionally to stuff and to bottle. And then oftentimes when you stuff and you bottle, you pick up a bottle of something else as an adult. Or hell, as a teenager, as a child, because we got folks that I've worked with that have been using that when they were 7, 8. It's just, man, it's so many, just some stories out there. And
Right.
and Taylor, you maximize the time that was given to you. And the thing that I realize about you too is that you continue to do the work when you got out. And that's one of the things where people drop the ball, right? They just take off running. And you had your plan, you knew what you was going to do, you know what I'm saying? You kind of you had a full business plan and all these things written out. As far as, I mean, you just use your time in the best way when you was in there, but you also, the spirituality piece. See, some folks get locked up and then they want to turn to God
Right.
and forget when they hit that gate. But that was one of the things that I realized, even with you continue to work on stuff. You continue to listen to your breakfast. So y'all, I have something I call breakfast in my groups, where I start the morning off or the group off with something motivational. And my goal was to always empower. And I still, Taylor, don't I? I still send you some of that stuff, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, and you're still doing these things. Tell me, what does breakfast do for you? Like, as far as how starting your morning with something like that, or what else do you do to maybe start your morning to get your day going?
Well, I can say, I definitely can. Like I said, that structure and discipline means everything. So I have a schedule that I do every morning that I don't miss these things. And, listening to something repetitively, and it can be anything, can be hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start digesting things like this, you believe it, you become it, you become one with it.
Yep.
So I had to find a balance with spirituality and religion,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people run to the hills for God for a false hope,
Mm-hmm.
instead of realizing that they have a God inside of them that they need to tweak and work on as well.
Go girl. That's right.
That was one of my biggest things too when I got in there, because I was so used to handling things, being in control, sliding through, getting away with this, getting away with that. When I knew God was real and He was powerful, when I couldn't do nothing,
Mm.
there was nothing I could do. There was no
Mm-hmm.
will that I had.
Mm-hmm.
All I could do was give up, raise my hands and give up.
Mm-hmm.
And however the course went, I had to go with that course. So that's when the faith and religion built more for me. But then I had to incorporate, like he said, faith without work is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to start incorporating, tweaking myself, looking at myself. So I would write in my journal my mannerisms. Okay, I see sometimes I get a little more aggravated when I do this, or I might be like this in certain ways. I need to start working on that, or I need to learn how to listen better, or I need to hear what I'm listening to instead of listening to what I hear. So I started determining, like, yeah, we say we want to keep things to ourselves, but now I know how to figure out the people that I need to tell these things to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that can go in hand with self sabotage, because you might have that one friend that likes to go to the club, one friend that goes to church, one friend that you can talk about relationship advice with because they're married.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't talk to the person that go to the club about marriage advice.
Right.
Once I started putting people in perspective and knew what to expect of them,
Go.
then I knew how far to go with them
Mm-hmm. 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 Put them in the
and
category.
figured out where I needed to direct it at. So, I kept God first. I kept me second. But I had to make sure that I knew how to decipher who deserves that energy.
Yes. And who to release.
Right.
That's good.
So it's deep. It's deep. People gotta think deeper than deep. Everything is not just surface. Like I said, I had to check my habits, organize myself a little bit. I know when I was drinking and running and I got my child, I want as organized.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I'm growing plants now, child. Just
Oh.
taking it. You know what I'm saying? Just small things. Small things. I still write in my journal. I do my short term and my long term goals. It just when and then I knew I had calling since I was born. I knew I was special.
Mm-hmm.
And some people come in this world knowing exactly who they're supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
and who they are. And when they sway away from that track, God always tries to push them back.
Yep.
I used to wonder why I can't get away with what she got away with,
Hmm.
or I can't get away with what he got away with. Because my calling is different.
That's right. That's right, boo.
My calling is different. When you got that leadership behind you, you can't get away with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The light is on you. The light is always shining on you.
Right.
So I had to take accountability for that. Like, you right. I am supposed to be way more than where I'm at. So thank you for checking me.
Mm. That's growth.
Um,
That's growth.
there's a lot of that just come with doing the inside work. And people don't know where to start from with doing the inside work.
That's true. That's very true. And a lot of that has to do with calling your own shit out. But you know what, Taylor? Folks know. A lot of people know. They just choose to be in denial because the work seems too hard to face to do.
Right, right. Yep.
That's a lot of times the issue, and that's why people don't stay in therapy long. Like when that stuff start getting tight, that heat start getting turned up, and you really got to look at self in every way. A lot of people, that's the time when they run.
Right.
And that's self-sabotage when everything seems to be going right and you in therapy and you choose not to go back or whatever, because I call it the feel-good factor. That's self-sabotage too, because you keep going to therapy because it teaches you, how to handle life when it lifes, how to ride the wave when it happens, because it's going to get wavy.
Right.
And speaking of which, Taylor, give me, if you can, like an example of something where life was life and after you got out, but you were still able to remain sober, through it. But can you give me like a couple examples, like some kind of difficulties that you faced getting out that you thought you wouldn't have to deal with or it would be different?
Well, I mean, that's every day, learning how to be humble and have gratitude for small things, and I
Mm,
try to pay attention to the small things because I've been out maybe almost a year and a half now.
yeah.
In my mind, I was going to hit the ground running. I was going to have a place by this month, organize everything for my daughter by that month, be back in my car by this month. And when I realized I didn't have control of that, those were my biggest obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Um, I'm just urging to be back and be better.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things I had to take heed of. Like, thank you, God, for allowing me to make it through another day. I might not be where I want to be, but I'm on my way to it.
That's right.
So, I used to beat myself up a lot about that, but I had to learn that timing is everything.
Yes.
And it might not be at my time, but it's going to be sometime. Sometime soon. So,
Yeah.
that's my battle. I started going to church regularly because I wanted my daughter to not necessarily forcing her into a choice of religion, but I do feel like church is a morally correct schedule for a young lady to consume.
That's good. I like
She
that,
can
that
choose,
perception.
she can choose, how and what when she becomes of age to know where she feels spiritually. But I don't mind the fact of me and her getting up and putting on dresses
Yeah,
and knowing how to conduct ourselves like women
love it.
and at least get a basic foundation, whether the person preaching it or not. The foundation rules don't mean anybody any harm
Hmm.
and they're positive things to live by. So I definitely started putting that in our schedule. You know, when I want that feel good, I want that tingle from spirit. You know, that's what I
Mm.
look towards.
That hit different.
You know, yeah. So that's what I look for now. Instead of for the feel good in the aspect of a downer, I
Hmm.
look for somebody's words to touch me.
Ooh, that's powerful, Taylor.
Um,
That's powerful. And that actually kind of goes right into answering my next question was when, when what helps you when you feel that? Because listen, we all have those moments where we just feel defeated, frustrated, over it, irritated, all of that, right? And so spirituality is one thing, like church is one thing, right? That helps you push through those hard times. Breakfast is the other thing, which is the motivational stuff that you'll listen to. What else helps you do you do to get through those moments? You did mention journaling too, which I'm so proud to hear that you still do that because folks, journaling is a release. Your brain is really believing that it's releasing some stuff. I don't think people realize the power of that. When that pen hits that paper, your brain is literally doing something. And that's why once you're getting it out, you get it off of you. So I was glad to hear that you still do that. So what else do you do, Taylor, that helps with when you have those tough times or those tough days?
I believe I have stages. As it go on, because I'm still human, you know, I'm still natural. I sit in it. I sit in it and it might hurt for that minute,
Mhm.
but I don't allow myself to sit in it long.
Mm.
So I'll go to try the game plan and what's my next move. Like if the hair ain't moving fast enough for me, I might second guess myself. I might doubt myself. You might get a couple hours of that, but then something in me be like, all right, well, drop a picture, promote, 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 promote. Or
Mhm.
I get in tune with my baby, you know, the simple things, the way she sees me in her eyes, it reminds me who I am.
Mhm.
I worked out a lot now. You know, I transfer my energies, you know, into different things. I like to cook a lot. I find something funny or uplifting to listen to read. And like I said, those affirmations and things of that nature,
Mhm.
you say that stuff to you because we all in ourselves feel like we can be the best version of ourselves, but we don't understand what holds us back.
Yeah, that's true.
So all a combination of all those things, you know. I mean, you're gonna feel what you're gonna feel. It's like what you gonna do after that feeling is gone.
There you go. There you go. And that takes courage. And that's one of the things I always challenge you all to do is sit in it. You cannot run from emotions and feelings. You just can't. You literally cannot. And just so everyone knows, emotions and feelings are two different things. Emotions is the physiological, which is your body response when you're triggered, right? So like it could be your heart beating like fast, super fast. That and then guess what the feeling could be? Anxiety. So that's the feeling. So those are two totally different things. And I'm just happy to hear that you have learned and are still learning to sit in whatever, whether it's positive or whether it's just a challenging character building day. And I don't like to say bad day. I like to say it was a character building day or a challenging day because any day we open our eyes and we got our right mind, that's a good damn day. That's a good day. So tell me, Taylor, what advice would you give to people that have been incarcerated or that are in recovery and are trying to reconnect with their child or their children and tapping into being that mom or that dad? One of the most beautiful things I ever seen was the day that I walked you out, me and Miss Perry, and I met your mom and your beautiful baby. Well, that's a little woman. But the hug, the tears, that moment was just beautiful how she just held you. and you held her. I will never forget that. That was priceless. Taylor, what would you tell people that are trying to rebuild the relationship with their kids? What can you tell them that's been whether incarcerated or used before, or using or trying to get clean or in recovery?
Well, ooh, I was thinking back. I
Powerful.
wanted my daughter. Yeah, I wanted my daughter so bad. I wanted her all my life. I didn't. The doctors told me that I couldn't have children originally. So, people got different stories of how their offspring, came.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I know I had to. You have to be open to receive the blessings you're asking for.
Hmm.
If you still got that guard on your heart and your mind and not willing to let the spirit, the religion, the Lord, anything consume you, it's not going to work.
Hmm.
If you got a different dimension of thinking in the back of your head, but only perceiving people from the front, it's not going to work. You got to take it in. You have to take it in. You have to grow with it. You have to really submit to the process
Hmm.
because you can't be healthy for nobody if you're not healthy for yourself.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So if you start trying to fight for a child and you ain't even fought for you yet, you done lost half of the battle.
Hmm. That's right.
You got to open yourself up and be willing to receive. You can't count blessings or catch them with your hands full.
Hmm. That's good.
So that's the start of it. A lot of children are made for different reasons, might have bad bones on it or whatever the case may be. But it's some tweaking you got to do with you to love a person made from you.
Mm.
So I know that's what I had to do. Like every morning I would get up because I was a hall girl as well. So I'm up before everybody.
Yep.
I write in my journal and I would think about different memories when I was intoxicated and in a sober mind though. And I'm writing these memories down and I'm thinking about how stupid I looked from the outside looking in
Mm.
or the decisions that I made with my child that because I had trauma, now I'm building hers.
Ooh, yes, 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 yes. That's deep.
So I had to start really tweaking me so I could be the best version of me. So I pay attention to things she say now and stuff she wants to do. It's days that, Lord, I don't feel like it. Mama just got off from 12 hours. She want to play dolls. I got to stop, slow down, play dolls.
Hmm.
Because that's the stuff they remember.
Right. You're right.
So busy trying to provide. I was just busy trying to provide, go get my little me time and incorporate her in my me time, which was selfish.
Right.
So now we do the things she want to do. We baking cakes, we doing little facials, we trying little stuff. I'm hearing her out. I ask her how she feel. I even do the mood, what's it called? The mood ring with her.
Oh,
Tag in, doing stuff.
yeah, that's
Cause I want her
awesome.
to start knowing how to express herself.
Love it.
Your madness is coming from an emotion. Your emotion, your feelings come like we were just building on. So
Hmm.
just being able to, like, even when I know I might be aggravated and throw it off on her, I come back to that and be like, Mommy, sorry, it just was a hard day. Explain it to her in a way of, but you gotta be, but you have to work with mommy, or you gotta be patient, or this, that, and the third, so we can come to an understanding. I mean, she's only 5, but she
Hmm.
done experienced so much already that she soaks everything like a sponge.
Hmm.
And God willing, with him blessing me with this gift, my daughter has a gift of her own. So she understands where I'm coming from. She hasn't grasped it yet,
Hmm.
but the dialect of the way we can communicate means a lot to me because I didn't have that room.
That's good.
So accountability, dealing with myself, tweaking myself to be the best version for her, learning different parenting skills and traits, knowing how to receive because a lot of women, I mean, God, blessed me with doing this prematurely where my child doesn't really have the strong effects of what some of these young girls got when they teenagers and see their mama go through stuff. And
Right.
when they 17, 18, and these girls can, or these boys can comprehend what my mom has really done to me.
Yeah.
So my accountability was a little bit easier for me because I was able to make myself accountable. But I didn't have nobody praying down on me about that accountability that really understood it.
Right. I got you.
So a lot of, yeah, a lot of people would say, well, she young, she ain't gonna remember that.
Mm,
So that's an aspect of that too. But when you got your teenagers and you got these young girls and young men who really are affected by what these parents have done, they have a lot more work to do.
that's right. That's right.
And in the future, these things, just because I think I've consoled her enough or gotten to a point, she gonna have some trauma that we're gonna have to work through as well because her father gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just an ongoing journey. But I would say to the women with older children that can acknowledge, or the men with older children that can acknowledge what that their parents or the children can acknowledge what they've been through and it affected them seriously,
Mm-hmm.
you got to think about the beating you put on yourself.
Right.
So you got to equate the beating you put on yourself from the offspring beating they're going to put on you. And the way you took the bad is the same way you got to take the good.
That's right.
But you got to be ready for it.
That's right. You gotta learn how to surf. I call it surfing. Like, cause adulting is hard, ain't it? Like, and just trying to be a good person and, just, sometimes it's just a lot, the work, trying to make it and, raising the kids and if you got a spouse and keeping the house, it is a lot. And it can be overwhelming sometimes. And that's why it's just so necessary, just day by day, just to do what we can, do the best we can each day,
Yeah.
and Taylor, I got to give it to you, girl. You've been killing it. You have been consistently the C word, the C word. And that's what some of the things or that big word that people that who are still struggling, they have a hard time with that consistency part. Anybody can do well when life is good, but you really see what you're made of when it's wavy.
Right.
And that's the point of having all of those skills, those coping skills, Taylor, that you learn, and the things that you're still learning because you're still doing the work and you putting that in your toolbox. We all have to have a toolbox because guess what? What tool worked in one season ain't gonna work in another one. Just reading one scripture in one season ain't gonna work in another season. Sometimes you might have to fast.
Right.
So what, we have to just adapt to and understand and acknowledge if we want to be better, be willing to do whatever sacrifices that's necessary to be that and to give ourselves grace, so I love that. I love that. But you know what, Taylor, and even how you're teaching your daughter how to communicate, how to talk. That's a little lady. She can have a full blown conversation. It's so cool. It's so amazing. You can tell that you take that time to do the work with her. It shows. It shows. And like for those parents, and this is one of the things why I would tell some of the I never call my clients inmates. I always call my clients clients, because I look at jail as school as well. But to take your time, put your oxygen mask on first. I always talk about the airplane, the flight attendant analogy, putting that mask on you first, even before you put it on your child. Actually, I was just talking about that today, because you got to make sure you straight before you carry that baby through the door. And it don't mean perfection. Ain't nothing gonna be perfect. But at least making sure that you can handle the waves a little bit before you bring on the little one. And that's one of the things, Taylor, you remember a lot of folks was in a rush to get their kids back. What would you have to say about that? Those who are new in recovery, that's in a rush. What advice could you give them?
I was in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a rush because I knew my flesh was different than what my spirit was.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing the work while I was in a rush.
Correct.
That's like we see a lot of people rushing to get out just to come back.
Mm-hmm.
It really, I have to say, thank God for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for my steps because she helped, raise my daughter with me with knowledge and wisdom and things that I wasn't paying attention to. She did.
Awesome.
And she also had a patience with her that she didn't have with me. So I know she learned through raising me to do a different style with her.
That's good.
But rushing to get your child, what have you, I didn't want to get her surviving. I want me and her to live. And that was the biggest problem I was doing with her. Everybody know how I feel about my baby. I love my baby. People knew that. Okay, cool. But are you raising her? Or are y'all just surviving together?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're surviving, you're moving back and forth, you're running on fumes, you're not giving that nurture factor. So when you find that peace within yourself to know how to love properly, then I think that's the best time to really get your child back. Because you don't want to survive with them just to prove that you got them back.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to live.
That's right. That's right.
So it takes some peace in knowing that you might not be ready. It takes some power in accepting that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I came home, I wanted her to straight back with me. Everything was normal. But I needed that time. Get your clientele up. Get your foundation solid. Ain't no need of you getting no child back and y'all just sitting on the curb.
That's right. That's right.
Figure out some type of home plan.
Mm-hmm.
Have some type of way where you can be secure. Have some security. Have some mental security.
That's a big one.
Where you just don't have this person in your presence and now y'all back to square one with surviving again. So, that's the biggest thing. You can love a child and love a person with all your might, but you gotta use your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And what if that frontal lobe ain't working right?
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl.
And you ain't making your decisions because your brain ain't cleared up from all them toxins.
That's right.
You only pumping on dopamine and limbic system.
Go ahead, girl. Hey, let me find out. That girl got the words and terminology and everything. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So,
Oh man.
it's about strategy.
That's right.
It ain't about what feels good. It's about what's supposed to happen.
That's beautiful, Taylor. I had
Yeah.
a random thought. Remember when it's not funny? We can laugh at it now though. When you thought you were going home at first. I'm just your
Yeah.
favorite boy. Look, boy. So you thought you were going home. They pushed it back. No, they gave you had to stay a little bit longer, right? But that's what it was. Like, so how many months was it?
Man, the lady read my time wrong, had me hype and everything. I was told my family I'm coming home Christmas. She told me 12 months and 95 days, but 12 months and 95 days was suspended. And so she told me I was coming home for Christmas. Everybody looking for me to come home for Christmas. And I'm the couple days go past. I said, Miss Rainbow sure ain't walk past here. The Lord. Everybody act like they ain't got I got to call and see if I can talk to somebody because everybody got so much to say to me now. I sit in the front. I said, damn, she must be going around the other way. Boy, what's his name? I forgot. What's the other man name who know how to calculate time good? Miss Prairie got him come down there. I seen him walking down there. I said, Lord.
I know you're talking about that.
No, he say, no, this is this. That's why you got to read your stuff. But see, they didn't allow me to because the day before that, my lawyer came to see me and then they had an invasion in our pod.
Okay.
The next morning, I get in there. She just rushes you through your papers, make you sign your plea. They don't really give you no time to really, think about it.
Which is crazy.
But I'm listening to everything she said. Child, I cried.
Oof. Yes, Lord. When I found out, Taylor, I was in my office, and I think Miss Perry was the one that had told me. I think it was I found out through her. So I'm like, okay. So what I'm not gonna do, I said I'm gonna wait. I ain't going around there right now. I knew I would have I knew I was gonna have a conversation, but I did not intentionally because in that moment I didn't show up. I didn't say nothing to you. I didn't come find you so we could have a session. I'm like, no, 'cause she needs to feel this. She needs to feel what it feels like being in here. She needs to know what it feels like when things don't go the way as you expected and how to deal with it. Take out your tools and use them. That is why I never came. But we talked about it later and laughed about it. But I needed you to use what you had because a lot of times we don't. we don't know how to use it because we ain't never used it. The things that we are, you know what I'm saying? That's in that that toolbox. But boy, when I finally did come on that side and you was sitting at that table, that lip, I think the lip was down the hallway. Your lip was definitely down the hallway. I said, oh boy. Yep.
You would have heard me cry that first time. You know how when a child get a whooping, they cry so hard that you can't hear it no
Yeah.
more.
Yes.
And when he come out, my mouth was just open. I was kicking the biggest baby you could see, the roughest, toughest crying.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Yeah, that hit different. But but in that moment it was getting you ready for this, for life. And that's why you know how to navigate. You know how to feel what you need to feel now. And that's why I did that. But that was powerful. That was powerful. I do want to bring up, Taylor, your brand. Talk to me about what you do. Also tell me about, I know you won some awards. Like you be doing your thing. I have to give it to you. So talk to me about the name of your brand. I want you to give what got you into hair and what do you specialize in going on and spit it, girl.
All right. Well, I've been doing hair for 19 years. My original name was Keita the Creator. I used to do a couple of hair shows back in the day. I won 2 hair shows in Virginia. I've also was in the shipyard for 10 years. The last 4 years of the shipyard, I was a rigger. I was nominated for Woman of the Year at General Dynamics. I just changed my name to Taylor Made thanks to my sister, Miss Radford. She gave me that name while I was in there.
Yeah, I was
So,
calling you that early, woman.
yep, yep. And so that meant something to me because Taylor Made means you're customizing yourself to perfect fit.
That's right.
And so I took that with me to take that because what I do is a therapy as well. I speak life into people while I make them look good.
Love it.
So I thought, that really connected with my growth, the definition of who I'm becoming. So I stuck with that name. I work at a hair salon in Virginia Beach off Arizona. It's called Hair Designs by Pam. God just puts me in the places that I need to be. The salon that I worked at 17 years ago. It was one of the first salons I ever worked at. Miss Pam's been open for 40 years.
Wow.
This salon I grew up in, she taught me professionalism, time, how to shampoo, different things that old school stylists implemented that a lot of the new school stylists really don't do.
Gotcha.
I prayed that I could find something or still had something. Thank God for this trait and this talent because I wanted to be able to have my daughter when I needed to have her and still be able to provide.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to still have my daughter when I need to have her, provide and do what I love and make people happy so they feel loved. So I can't really beat it. I was so worried because I was gone for a year. I was so worried I was going to lose the clientele. I had my own shop for like 4 years. So I was so worried I was going to lose my clientele.
Mm.
And as I came home and once I started promoting, predominantly all my people are the people I've had over 10 to 15 years.
Wow, that says a lot.
Right. And it made me feel so good because it's so many people out here in this world that's better than me, might have had more time than I did, might have implemented their life while I was gone, but to still hold on to wanting to be in my presence, let me know that I have some value.
Yes. Yes.
So, God seems to work where everything is right on time, you know,
Mm.
and I'm just in a season of I don't want to be just right on time no more. I want to be prepared.
Yes. There you go. There you go. I love it. And that old school is that ain't nothing like a good hair wash. That's those are things that are self care as well. And I'm very particular about who's over my head. You don't let everybody over your crown. The energy can be off. The person can be. You just really have to be very intentional about that. And Taylor, and Taylor has done my hair as well before, and it's just the experience is different. It's all positive, ain't no negative talking. It's it's a true experience. And I welcome everybody to please, 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 if you need it, Taylor, tell them what you do, what you specialize in. I know you do locks. Look, y'all, everybody hair was tight in the block, honey. I mean, they was fly, fly. Taylor kept them hooked. So tell me what do you specialize in, or what type of styles or whatever that you do?
Through my journey, I'm versatile.
Okay.
I specialize in locks. I specialize in cornrows. I specialize in braids. I specialize in healthcare, hair care. I cut. I relax. I wave. I curl.
Mm-hmm.
I sew. I glue. You know, I do some of everything. I do some of everything. Now, like I said before, I'm one of the ones who come from the old school era where, we didn't have as many cosmetic looks as today do.
Right.
So what I do is what I know I'm good at, and what I'm good at, I'm gonna make sure it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to shampoo your hair. I have to treat your hair. I want your hair to grow under any type of protective style I provide.
That's right.
So, I'm big on that. So those are my specialties. Like I said, the environment that I'm in is very hard. It's very rare to come by.
Mm-hmm.
A traditional hair salon, barbershop conversation.
Yeah.
Where you used to enjoy just being in the shop, whether you was getting your hair done or not, just to politic or communicate with other people.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
Everything is so right. Everything
Mm-hmm.
is so secluded now with these suites.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is so closed in, so I still get to get the wisdom from my elders and people around me while I'm learning, because I'm still learning every day.
That's good.
And that's even down to the new day and age prices.
Yes, correct. 'Cause everything is going up, you know?
Yes.
And I just love the passion, and you're just amazing. You definitely got some anointed hands, girl. And you're just amazing at what you do. And Taylor, how can they contact you if people are interested in booking with you? How can they contact you?
Well, I have 3 different web pages. My Instagram is TaylorMade5160.
Taylor Made,
Facebook,
TaylorMade.
yeah,
And what is
5160.
5160?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's my TikTok as well. And, and my Facebook is Chiquita Taylor.
And can you spell that?
ChiquitaTaylor.
And it's amazing because I'm like, hey, our names even spell almost the same. Like, it was like, wow, pretty powerful. This is my little sis here. This is definitely what it is.
Yeah.
But
I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for believing in me and being there for me. And you're always there for me mentally, emotionally to this day. And I thank God for you. I thank God for the enlightening you to have on me, to be able to look up to someone, to know that it is possible, so
wow.
I'm just thankful to even be in this presence and this place, and that you even hold me high enough to consider to want me to be on your platform. So,
Oh man, Taylor, that means the world. I'm just a mouthpiece, you know? I'm just a mouthpiece here trying to do what God has me to do. And I appreciate you too, because you also pour into me. Always have. And I'm just very thankful that you trusted me to walk with you on this journey of healing and walk with you on this recovery journey. It has been beautiful. That's all I can say. And I'm still loving to see this thing play out. And I'm just so excited about your future. I'm so excited about where you're going. And I love you, girl. And we definitely going to be doing some things in the future. And when we're going to end with this. What would you tell people, Taylor, that are out there still struggling in getting help for addiction and that they just feel hopeless? What were some words of inspiration you could spit to them?
oh man, one thing that I definitely can say is, like I always say, once you become a survivor and you get out of victim mentality,
Mm.
that'll put another strength in you never knew you had. Don't feel bad for you. Feel better for you. You gotta figure out a way to push with that inside. It's almost like pushing a baby out. It's something you don't understand, but once you become a person that doesn't want to dwell anymore or make excuses for what has happened to you, you can see a whole nother side of what you can become. So I'm not ashamed of my story. I tell people my story all the time because I overcame.
Hmm.
It feels so much better on the other side.
Don't it?
It feels so much better on the other side. And victim, when you play in a victim role, it's for the dark side of things. Like I
Mm.
tell a lot of people, I done everything there is to do wrong. Ain't no harm in trying to do right.
Hmm. I know that's right. Love it.
So that's what I leave y'all with. I love you too, Miss Rapper, and thank you again.
Thank you, Taylor. Y'all, please hit her up. Let's blow her up. Let's blow this chair up. Let's support, support, support. And once again, Taylor, I appreciate you for trusting me and for taking this time out your evening to spend this time with me, girl. I love you. And we got to do this again. How that sound?
Yes, ma'am. We need to do what we used to do on Wednesdays.
What we used to do? The She Shed.
We shit.
Yes, I like that. Okay, that's a bet. Let's plan. Let's talk and plan. Hey y'all, before you click off of this podcast, I want to first say thank you again for all of your support. And I also wanted to share with you that one of the things I learned how to do was change my poetry that I write. I converted my words into a song. And this song has been released as a single. It's called America Blues Cry, and it's by yours truly, CL Radford. Is how you can find it. It's on all platforms, y'all. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. So I'm asking you to please share and support. This is a crazy world, y'all. It's crazy times we living in, and we need some positive stuff to feed our spirit and just some type of faith to hold on to. And I'm hoping that this song can just spread some love and be like a ointment to the wounds that we get, and just by watching the news these days, y'all. So please download, share, get this out there, y'all. Just trying to just push positivity now. Love you guys, and again, thank you. Peace. Enjoy.
Thought you were supposed to be the land of the free and home of the brave. But at every glance, you're trying to make somebody your slave. I thought we were gonna be tight, but all I've ever done was fight to keep my sanity. Try to put food on the table for my family. It seems like it's never enough. You always find a way to fuck some shit up. As soon as I think I'm getting ahead, I levitate land and you kick me right off the ledge. Depression has kidnapped the passion that once lived within. Hate, racism, war we're winning in. Grind culture has pimped me to anxiety. Read my purpose and said, follow me. Shattered the cherry to my soul. Glass ceilings can't hold me down. Hold up, let me adjust my crown. You might think you can bully me, but resilient I will continue to be. Trauma tears water the harvest of tomorrow. I don't need 40 acres, because this mule will take 10.
Shout out to my Uncle Rock who called me Mule.
And turn it into 100.
Love you, miss you.
Give me a shot of love, peace, and chase it with self-care for my soul. America, a land needing peace and a home full of hate. You think you're invincible, but babe,